Happy Muk-jji-bba Day!
Happy Muk-jji-bba Day.
Happy Muk-jji-bba Day.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm Edgy.
I'm Brittany.
I'm Judy.
Last week, we had a very fun episode with our friends talking about how girls and guys convey interest or lack thereof. And so, kind of related, kind of unrelated, we wanted to talk about different attachment styles, love languages. So, right before we meant to record, we actually all took it together, a test for attachment styles and love languages. So, we're going to dive right in and talk about those while it's still fresh in our brains. So which one should we talk about first?
We can talk about attachment styles first, since that was the test we took first.
Okay, sounds good.
Nice.
All right. How should we go?
Who wants to go
yours?
first?
I remember. Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first on. So I was the anxious / what is it? Preoccupied attachment style.
I am disorganized.
Oh. I'm also anxious / preoccupied. Yeah.
Do you guys feel like these are the results you predicted for yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Oh, really? What did you think you would have been?
I didn't know what the different styles were, but I didn't expect to get disorganized. Yeah, it's just, and the way that the test is, the UX or whatever is set, it's red. So like disorganized. It's the color red. And I'm like, ooh.
Oh,
That is
usually,
a little alarming.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's there. So the test, it's kind of divided up into mother, father, partner, and general. And mine's very split. Two are part of secure attachment, while the other is disorganized. But I guess, yeah. So I'm like on both ends of the spectrum, which is interesting.
Dang.
Yeah, I only knew of the anxious attachment style before taking this exam, and that was the one I predicted for myself. It was the only one I knew, but I felt like it would probably be applicable to me, and it indeed was. Yeah.
Same. I mean, I did know about the different anxious attachments or the different attachment styles, because I think this kind of blew up our junior year of college during COVID. So I actually took this, when I was in the apartments with Lena. Yeah. And so I remember the test I took only had 4 styles. Is this one 5? 4?
I guess it depends on the combination.
True. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen preoccupied as an attachment style. So that's this is the first time I've seen that. But yeah, I was an anxious attachment girly back then. Still am.
I feel ya.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess just to briefly read out what disorganized attachment style actually is, it says it's characterized by strong desire for close connections and intimacy, but also an intense fear of getting hurt within relationships, which I think is pretty accurate. But if I took this a few years back, I would definitely, I don't know, I think I would veer more towards secure attachment overall, which is unfortunate how it kind of digressed in a way. I mean,
that's life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. Is there like a given paragraph?
Yeah.
Oh, just that?
Oh, mine looks a little different. Mine's like just a paragraph.
Oh, yeah. So mine looks, or ours, I guess, would look a little bit different from Brittany's, but It says the anxious / preoccupied attachment style is characterized by an inconsistent formative period which leads to low self-esteem and low self-worth, constant need for external validation and reassurance from others in attempt to prove themselves worthy of love and affection, fear of rejection and criticism, may become highly upset at any form of disapproval, self-sacrifice and putting the needs of others first, struggles with being single or alone for periods of time. Relationships and intimacy are strongly connected with an anxious attacher's feelings of self-worth. Therefore, they may crave attention and try to impress others in attempt to get it. The last one is attentiveness to loved ones, almost to a fault. Others may end up taking advantage of this kind and generous nature because of this trait.
Mm-hmm. I feel like those were pretty accurate. Yeah. Especially the self, like putting others before. I think that's just in terms of having a younger sibling. I think that is kind of the context that most applies to, at least for me, that I can think of right now. I think that's the arena of life that is most apparent in.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's so weird because I'm the youngest child.
So maybe it's in some other arena.
Yeah, I think
outside of family.
Yeah, maybe. I also did hear that second children like kind of Muk-jji-bba a lot, the family, and they end up feeling like they kind of have to like make the atmosphere.
I see.
They like kind of are able. They're the ones that can really like brighten the mood and the atmosphere. So maybe that's one thing.
I never thought of it like that, but that makes sense too. The first bullet that said, I think, inconsistent formative years or something like that, I thought that was odd because when I think back, I feel like my formative years are very consistent and stable. So I'm not sure if there was some inconsistency that maybe I'm not aware of, but I don't know.
It's either that. It can be different things. The test is obviously not accurate.
Yeah, like 100%. Yeah.
And maybe there's something you haven't unlocked from your past.
Oh God, maybe I don't want to unlock it.
Yeah, I don't know, what it exactly means by inconsistent. Because I also feel like I had a pretty stable childhood growing up, and I'm very blessed to be able to say that. But I think there are moments where my parents were very involved in my life. Obviously when I was in preschool, elementary, my mom was always there. She made sure to always be there for me. But by the end of elementary, she started to work more, and I think that's when I did see her a little bit less. She would pick me up from school a little bit later sometimes, things like that. I feel like middle school, she was involved in a sense where, she'll pick me up from my friend's place and whatnot. But I think that's when I really learned to be a little bit more quote unquote independent. And my friends and I would walk around to places and things like that. And then I think high school, she was kind of like that until my junior year of high school, when I had to, focus on going to college and things like that. That's when she started to focus on me more. And I think I was a little bit confused as to why now? Because you left me to be kind of independent for the past few years. And so the fact that you want to kind of control my life again just felt so weird for me. That's kind of how I saw it. So I don't know, maybe there's something in that for me, if that's what they mean by kind of inconsistent, I guess. Yeah. So I remember that, but I feel like I was relatively consistent.
Yeah, maybe that did affect you more than you realized.
Maybe. Yeah.
There was one question for the parenting part of the test, which I thought was interesting. It was was it supporting activities or something? Yeah. It's funny because every other question I put like agree or strongly agree, but for that one, that's the one where I was like, because the subheading, like, yes, they were very supportive of things they wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But when it came to things that I wanted to do, like even something as small as like play dates, even like things like that.
Yeah.
That's where they
interesting.
disagree. Yeah. So I thought, I wonder how that played into the overall result.
Yeah, I felt like that question I had to think about a second longer because I did all these club activities in school, and sure, I voluntarily signed up for them, but it was like, how much did they factor into my decision to sign up?
Highly encouraged certain things.
Like those activities versus others. And so I had to think about those for a second longer.
Yeah, sometimes these days I actually think about this a lot, where if they hadn't been so involved in my activities, I wonder if I would have become involved in like completely different things. Like, what am I genuinely interested in? Like, to what extent has their influence impacted the way I think and veer towards things like that? So it's interesting.
Yeah, agree.
I feel like I just joined like the clubs that my friends wanted to do. With like school, I feel like my parents didn't really honestly didn't really care that much. But yeah, like music and things like that, they definitely cared a lot.
So what do you guys think about this test, speaking into, I guess, things you've learned about yourself in terms of relationships? So outside of family, more like relational, it could be romantic or not. I can start if you guys want a second to think.
Sure.
So outside of the caregiver circles, like the general and partner one, they were all in the preoccupied like quadrant. And so I feel like I've never had like long-term relationships that I guess lasted a year or longer. But I feel like one thing that I kind of realized is I guess it also has to do with me just being a non-confrontational person. But if I do feel upset or like insecure about something, I don't voice it right away. And then I like you guys know, I tend to catastrophize too. So I think those all just kind of played together to make me feel like anxious and preoccupied, like they must be preoccupied with something else. And so I think this test, definitely kind of hammered that, or further emphasize that trait about myself.
I think I'm very similar. I'm not very confrontational. If I'm upset about something, I think more than thinking, or I do think about like, oh, like why did it upset me? Like what about it? You know, what triggered me to feel this way? But I think the thing that follows right after that is like, okay, like, is this something worth bringing up or not? Which honestly is not, I don't think, a terrible thing to kind of second think about that sometimes, but I think it does kind of further invalidate the way that it's like, oh, like I shouldn't express it because you know, like in the end, like it's not that serious, like something like that.
Yes,
like,
I know.
It's not that deep, and that person definitely didn't mean it in that way. Like that wasn't their intention, so there's no point of bringing it up. And I think that will, you know, further upset / frustrate us because, you know, in the end, it's something that upset us, and now we're suppressing it. So I think that's kind of something I've seen in a lot of my romantic relationships, sometimes friendships too, but I feel like with friendships I get over it a little bit faster. I don't know if it's because like, actually I don't know what it is, but I just feel like with friends I'm just it's not as bad. But it's like it's amplified in relationships for sure. Yeah.
I feel you with the whole invalidating. Like I'm always in the mindset like, oh, I just need to get over it. Like I'm making a big deal, or like I'm being a baby about it. Like kind of mindset, which actually is not that good. Like it's not very healthy, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the tendency I've always fallen towards. Yeah.
And I think like most partners, most good and healthy partners. Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Okay. Sorry, my dog was howling. Most healthy partners and healthy relationships, they will usually respond with like, oh, you should have just told me that. Like it's something so small. You should have just gotten it out, right? It's like, just be honest. It's fine. But it's, I don't know, it's like big to just be like, hey, like this is how I felt.
It's so simple if you think about it, but it's hard.
It's really hard.
It's like the hardest thing.
But there's like layers to it, right? Because it's like, first it's like, oh, you know, like it's okay, whatever, like it's fine, that person didn't mean it. And then it goes even deeper to like
layers.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it.
I guess one potential layer is you also tend to think of like, what are they
That's what I was gonna say.
Like what are they thinking?
Yeah, like what is their attachment style? Like what if they can't take it in the way that I want them to?
Right.
Or just in a very unhealthy way.
Exactly. You're afraid of their response.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I think there's also fear that they may further invalidate my feelings, or like you said, they won't respond the way that I want to, and I will be further kind of shot down in a sense, or it's like, oh, like what, you know? And maybe that fear was also great, and which is why I couldn't bear to bring it up. Yeah,
it's like, I know it's like we trust that person, and I think that's why it further frustrates us. It just frustrates us even more because we trust this person. We you know, that's obviously why we're, you know, probably in this relationship, but it's just hard to convince yourself. And I feel like usually this is how, like, obviously attachment styles, right? It's like they literally describe in the introduction, like this is the way the way you grew up is the reason why you have these specific attachment styles. And so this is something that's not like, oh, like it's just my 20s or something. No, it was like
lifelong.
Exactly. So I think to break that is just really difficult.
Agreed.
As we were talking about this, I kind of had a breakthrough moment.
Whoa.
Because I was just thinking, like, why is it so split? It just doesn't, like you said, usually the way you grew up, that kind of offers an explanation to how you deal with other relationships. But for me, I'm like, this doesn't make sense at all. But I think it does, because I grew up in such a secure family where there was so, like, that's all I saw. It's almost like a little too perfect, where I'm like, I am constantly seeking that, which is why I have this huge fear of not being able to replicate that.
I see.
So there's this like push and pull, like, oh, I really want to replicate this, but I know that's like very rare. So I think that's probably why it's so disorganized,
because you're faced with people who are very different than what you've grown up with and what you expected people to be like. I see.
So it does make sense in a way.
That does.
It actually really makes sense.
And I'm like, am I even able to love in that way? Like, I don't know.
Big questions.
Big.
Dang.
I can see how this can offer some healing, as they claim to give.
I think even just knowing or like being able to put a label on it is helpful or helpful already. All right, should we move on to love languages?
Sure.
Alrighty. I think we're all pretty much the same, at least in terms of the top.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So for sure, all of ours, our number one was quality time. And then my second was acts of service.
I don't remember. I think mine used to be like words of affirmation.
Affirmation.
But I think the last time I took it, physical touch was either the second one or the third one.
Oh, wow.
Definitely. Yeah, no, receiving. I'm not good at giving.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like I've never really had any physical.
It's because we're both not
like
givers.
not.
Yeah. But it's weird because
You like receiving?
I do, but
Oh,
I do, but whenever I take the test, it's always last. But I do like it. Like I told you guys, I like hugs.
it's still a love language.
Yeah.
It's just not as high as
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I think we mentioned this in a previous episode, but
yeah.
like hugs, right? Like we never hugged in college, but then like there was a time when like in postgrad when we weren't seeing each other as often, obviously, and so like we would park at one person's place usually, and then like drive over to the restaurant to like eat, and then like randomly like when we were meeting at my place. Like Brittany arrived first, and then I was like, "Oh, Brittany!" And I went in for a hug, and we hugged, and it was like so natural that it was so weird.
Yeah.
We both were
Like,
like we.
is this the first time we hugged?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
so
it might have
weird.
been.
Yeah, because in college,
Yeah.
I don't think I hugged anyone.
Yeah.
Or like when we lived together, I don't think we really.
That would be weird.
That would be. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. I think I really do like receiving hugs and like physical touch, but I'm not good at expressing the fact that I do.
Yeah.
I just get kind of awkward. So people think I don't like it, but
I don't know, but when we were taking pictures for at like Sean's baptism.
She always goes like this. No,
Wait, it's a habit.
It's
She
a
crosses,
really bad
guys,
habit.
She crosses
Yeah.
her arms when we take group photos.
No, that's like, you know, that, okay, yeah, that was one thing. So when we took like grab pics and stuff, if I was standing next to like Judy or like, you know, or anyone else, they would link arms with me or they would like give their arm for me to lean, but Brittany's like, this, and I was like, what do you want me to do?
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I like leaned over, right? And then she was like,
no, and like you were standing, so it was like Sean, me, and then Brittany, but Brittany was like standing, it was like very little space for me, so I was like low-key pushed in the back and I like peeked my head out, but I couldn't like ask Brittany. I couldn't like ask Brittany. Obviously, I'm not gonna ask Sean to move, but I was like,
wait, right?
Brittany. She said something. It was too late, then we just already take it.
No, I do remember crossing my arms.
Oh my
I remember I
gosh.
said did I say it to you guys or was it on a podcast? I forget. But I wanted to kind of fix that.
Yeah.
So I think one photo I don't have my arms crossed.
wow.
One photo.
Because I remembered. I was like,
Out of how many minutes per
I know, out of like the bajillion. But if you guys go back to the one where we were standing in a straight line,
yeah.
you'll like see me kind of looking in the back. I was like, I'm in the back.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. My face looks smaller, so it's okay.
Yeah, that one line photo
Yeah.
was not the vibe.
That was
Whoever
not it.
gave that idea is so terrible.
It was the boys.
Yes, it was the boys.
Yes,
Please
it was.
do not. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like mine have stayed. My love languages have stayed pretty much the same in terms of the rankings. Yeah, throughout. I think the first time I took it was back in college because that's when everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
So I think even then, number one was always quality time, and then acts of service. Yeah.
What's your second one?
Mine used to be physical touch up until college. And then it changed to, I'm pretty sure it changed to words of affirmation. I think physical touch is third. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you guys taken it for like giving before?
No, I've actually never.
I haven't.
I never could find it.
Yeah, is it a separate test?
So people said it's not. You just think about the other person's perspective. Like, what would they want to receive? And then when you take it like that, usually the results that come out
I
are
see.
your giving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See. I feel like for giving though, if I were to just guess, I think it would still be pretty much the same for me. Like giving to.
Oh, no, not for me.
Oh yeah, not for you.
Physical touch will be at the bottom. But quality time. I think I would know. It would be quality time, acts of service. Words would be on the lower side, I feel like. What's the other one?
Gifts.
Oh, yeah. Gifts, words, and then physical. If I were to guess.
How about you, Judy?
Yeah, I think I give quality time. I feel like second would be maybe gifts or words of aff. I don't know.
I feel like words of off.
Yeah, words of aff. Yeah. I don't know about giving physical touch. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like none of us are super giving in physical touch. Or like it wouldn't be the highest ranking, like for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like even with like my like in like romantic relationships, I feel like it's usually the guy who likes physical touch more. Yeah.
I think that is almost always the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I just have to be in the same vicinity space as you. Like yeah, I don't think I necessarily have to like always be like
One finger on.
yeah. Like
Yeah, for sure.
Just like,
Just have like your shoulders touching the whole day.
that's weird.
not the shoulder. Shoulders is kind of a lot.
That's really close.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. They can figure it out. Do you guys have you guys talked explicitly with your romantic partners about love languages beginning? Because sometimes when people have different love languages, then it can lead to misunderstandings or because the way they express or receive is different and interpret things is different. So have you guys ever explicitly had conversations about that with like your significant others or potential significant others?
Like in the beginning.
Oh,
wow.
I think that was when I retook it.
I see.
And it changed. I was like, because I think I said, mine's like blank, blank, blank. And then we're like, should we just retake it?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. It changed.
Interesting. Do you feel like, did you guys have very different rankings?
I honestly don't remember. It wasn't like a deep conversation. It was just in passing.
Just like a, what's your MBTI type of
Just
conversation?
like a fun little fact.
Okay, got it. I see.
Yeah, I don't think I've seriously talked about it, but it wasn't necessarily a short conversation about it either. But yeah, never really in the beginning of the relationship. Yeah, but I don't know if it's different because the types of relationships I get into are usually like we're friends and then I end up like in a relationship. So maybe that's why I find out we talk about it a little bit later. I don't know. But yeah. Have you?
I think I have, but I think it was also more in passing, like just to get to know each other type of questions rather than using that to change anything or affect anything. Which I feel like should be the purpose of it if you think about it, just so that you're on similar pages, or if someone does something you wouldn't necessarily enjoy, then it's like, but their intentions were different and or like they had truer intentions behind it.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like that would be helpful.
Yeah, I think it really would be. Because everyone's just so different. Yeah, I feel like no matter how long you've known the person, sometimes you don't, know how they receive love. So,
Yeah.
and or like in the best way.
People can be very different in different contexts.
Yeah.
So, like what you said, you started off as friends. That can look really different from.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys think your attachment styles and love languages have some sort of connection or no?
I think it does. Excuse me, sorry. So like my other, it was anxious / preoccupied style, and I think one of the questions in the love language test was, I forget what the other option was, but it was between two options. You feel most loved when your partner does this, and then the other option was they don't go on their phones and or like are distracted when spending time with you, which I think is aligned with the quality time aspect of the love language. And so I don't know if preoccupied for the attachment style means like literally distracted, like preoccupied, but I feel like they must have some sort of correlation. So I think in that sense, yes, they are related.
I'm sure they are related.
Maybe not for you.
I can't think of a
Like
good correlation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think I kind of I grab onto quality time to feed my, like, what's the word? Not insecurity, but kind of just concerns when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
I try to like make up for whatever potential problems we're like going through with quality time. Yeah. I'm like, if we spend
interesting.
more time, I'm sure it'll solve on its own in a way.
I see.
So maybe that's where it comes into play.
And also, I think, at least for this attachment style, it was like the need for validation. And so I think, obviously, if they spend time with you, then it is because they want to. And so that is in itself kind of like a validation, I think. And so I think that may also, I just thought of it right now, but I feel like that might also be something.
For sure.
Man, you know what the worst feeling is?
What?
When what you described right now, when you're like looking for, you feel validated through spending time with them. And if they, like, they're spending time with you, but you feel like they don't really want to be there. Oh, that's the worst feeling ever.
And they're like they're there, but their mental state is not fully there. Or they're like thinking about their next, like, let's say that you meet them earlier in the day and they have something later and they're just thinking about that. I'm sorry. Or they're like texting their friend like while they're with you about those other plans or just anything else in general. Yeah, that is feels bad. Yeah. Well, what's our next?
Crushes and
crushes. Our shinkungs.
Just to lighten up the mood. Well, not as deep.
Not as deep.
Funny haha stories.
Yeah.
Crushes. So any
Like
crush?
random. Not crushes that were realistic, I guess. Just really random, short-lived ones. I can go first. Like, I can think of... I was in middle school. I went to, like, this random Korean restaurant in K-Town with my parents. It was, like, a hole in the wall. Like, not many people know about it. I didn't want to go because it was, like, some sort of stew specialty restaurant. But at that age, I wasn't really a big fan of... I was actually really picky. But my dad wanted to eat it, so we went. And the server there was like...
Wait, you're in middle school?
I was in middle school, but I don't know how old this guy was. Probably like in his 20s, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what he looks like, but the only thing I can remember is he had glasses. And I have a thing for glasses. Yeah, but he looked like smart. But
Also, she said he looked like smart. So I was like, who's smart?
just smart.
Okay.
Knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about, like really random crushes.
Brittany, do you remember that guy at UCLA? That one guy, like when we would see him at dining halls, we like didn't even know his name. We didn't know anything about him. So there was this one guy we would very randomly by chance.
I don't remember what he looked like.
Me neither. I kind of wish I did.
Oh wait,
But he was really tall.
he was really good looking.
Oh, really?
He was really good looking, but we had no idea what year he was.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with any like clubs or anything that we were in. He
Yeah.
was literally a complete stranger.
But whenever one of us would run into him on campus, we'd be like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, like,
Was he Asian?
yeah. And he was like a bit darker.
yeah."
His
remember.
skin tone was a bit darker. He looked like fit, tall. When was the last time we saw him? Do you remember? Was it before COVID?
Definitely before COVID.
Yeah, because I don't think we ever saw him out. Because we used to see him in the dining halls, didn't we?
So sophomore year. It wasn't
Yeah.
freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't know where he is now, obviously.
I wouldn't even recognize him.
Me neither. But it was like a celebrity sighting. Like,
Oh, good times.
good times. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like there's usually one of those for sure.
Oh, do you guys remember senior year, my econ professor? Wait, but I'm not the only one. Wait, he was really young, guys. Wait, maybe we should cut this.
No,
Wait, why?
Yeah, because he
he was young.
no, but still, he was a professor.
So, you know Pretty Little Liars?
That was high school.
That's worse. That's
They were
worse.
high schooler.
Oh,
It's a little
yeah, she's a
different.
victim.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. I've never watched the show.
Was it?
I don't remember.
Was it high school? Was
I'm
it not
pretty-
middle school?
That's even worse. I'm pretty sure it was high school.
Oh, I don't know.
Actually, I don't know. I've never
Kind of
watched.
curious.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched Pretty Little Liars in a while, so.
I never finished it.
Didn't do very well in the class though. His exams were really hard for no reason. So I didn't like him at the end of the quarter.
It's understandable.
Didn't matter though. It was towards the end of college anyway, so I was like, oh, whatever, I can afford this. Oh, in high school, I had this one person. I honestly don't even remember his name anymore, but basically at the drop-off zone, like he was always standing at the same spot, and he was, I don't know how many years older than me he was. He might have been 2 or 3 years older, but obviously never spoke a word to him. But I just thought he was cute. And so my friend and I, we had a code name for him. We called him Tree. I don't know why we chose that name.
always the randomest
Yeah, it was
things.
so random. But yeah, I just would be like, oh my gosh, it's Tree. Like no reason to ever talk to him. So I was in band all throughout high school, and so because I was in band, we played for the graduation. And so when he was graduating, I literally was debating, oh my goodness, should I just go up and say hi? Because he's graduating anyways. I did not, but I pondered it. Yeah. Yep.
That reminds me of one crush I had in high school. It was like middle and high school. He was 2 years older, but he was pretty well known in our school, especially like the Korean community, because he was really, again, smart. Maybe I have a thing for like,
Hey, yeah, valid.
he was like pretty much top of the class or whatever, and he was in Model UN.
Oh,
He played the cello.
wow.
Things like that. He was tall, dark eyebrows. So I remember I actually joined one of the meetings for Model UN. I had no interest in the actual activity.
Yeah.
But, and I was like, oh, should I just stick through it? But no. It was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That club is a lot.
Dang.
I never spoke a word to him. Yeah. It's okay.
It's okay. Judy, can you really not think of any?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Like the one thing I thought of was like, I had like in preschool. I crush.
I remember that.
On this. Nothing against white people. I just have not found a white man attractive recently.
Yeah,
Oh, this is gonna be problematic. I swear that I had a crush on another, like this white guy. I don't know why, but I remember we were taking like our class photos in preschool.
Yeah.
And I think we took multiple group photos because some kids would only come certain days of the week, and some so we took like 2 different class photos, I think. And then one of them, I think I ended up standing next to him. I don't know why. And I think I was cheesing so cute. That totally randomly came to mind.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, little Judy.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I would say this was a crush. I think it was when I first got TikTok, or it was like in the beginning of when I got TikTok. But there's this like there's this Asian dude that like played the guitar, like the electric guitar, and he would like make like kind of like his own, I don't know, renditions of like different songs and whatnot. So he didn't play just like the electric, but he played like other instruments too. But he like popped up on my For You page randomly one day, and I was like, oh, he's really musically talented. So I was like, oh, is he like famous or is he not? And he had a good amount of followers, but I don't think he was like really famous. And so I like followed him on SoundCloud, and I would like join his like TikTok live sometimes too, to like, yeah, just like see like what he would play and stuff. Yeah. That was like a random,
Yeah.
because it was so random.
Yeah.
But I remember he would like go on TikTok live, and I would get like that notification. Then I would go like tap on it and like watch for a little bit. Yeah.
Wait, what do you consider a crush? Like, is there a difference between a crush and actually liking someone? Or do you categorize them as the same thing?
I think I used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I have a crush on someone, like
Yeah.
you know. But now it's definitely different.
I
It
agree,
is.
I
Yeah.
Yeah. Crush is just like hee hee ha ha, like
Yes.
kind of entertainment
Yeah.
almost.
Yes.
But then it's like, oh shoot, I think I really like them.
Yeah.
I feel like you would know.
That's serious.
Once a crush develops into like serious likings and serious interest.
Yeah. All my crushes now, they're just celebrities.
Me too.
I feel like there was a time when a lot of people had a crush on is his name Tadashi?
Who?
The Big Hero 6 older brother.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, the big brother.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
for sure.
Oh, he's a good one for okay, so Sean, who was on our podcast last week, he always asks this question of who's your animated
Like animated
crush.
Cartoon
you
crush.
said-
Cartoon crush.
And that's a good answer. I should have said that.
now you can say that.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anyone else ever asks
Yeah.
you,
Some more
politically correct.
socially accepted.
yes.
Oh man.
Okay, now you know. Now
I know.
Yes.
Tadashi is his name?
I think so.
Tadashi. I did.
Okay,
I just don't remember his name.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
confirm
dead.
for you
He's a
right
good
now.
one.
Oops.
That's a really good one, actually.
Yeah, I just remember.
Kind eyes.
Yeah,
Looks
his
good in a
cap.
hat.
Yes.
Yes, Tadashi Hamada.
He was smart too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
perfect.
built Baymax.
He
He
did.
made him.
He's a family guy. He was
Yes.
close with his brother.
But he dies.
Yes.
He died.
Daniel Henley voiced him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that's why it was a big deal.
I see.
Yes,
I see.
yes, yes,
He did
yes.
have a nice voice.
That's
Yeah.
important.
It is very
Nice
important.
voice,
Yes.
Well, I guess going off that topic,
Mm-hmm.
last time you were 심쿵d, which translates to
Like butterflies. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that's the closest
Yeah.
English translation.
When I watched Queen of Tears.
I'm watching. We're watching. 선제옥구티요. I forget what
Lovely
the
Runner.
Lovely Runner. My
what a whack
goodness.
translation.
Has nothing to do with the actual title. But anyway, I feel like every moment or everything that 선재 slash 변희석 does is 심쿵.
Green flag.
Yes. Yes.
Do you
His
think?
dimples.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So cute. I have dimples.
Literally nobody asked.
Just
Why did I know you were going to say that? I knew you were
I
going
did
to
not
say
see
that.
that coming.
I knew. Oh, wait. Is she going to say that? You did.
But also because I was watching like the episodes with my mom. She already watched it. She's a big fan, but like my mom was talking about his dimples, and she was like, "You still have your dimples, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." Yes, I do. Anyway, yeah, so cute. Highly recommend watching it if you guys aren't. What about real life, guys?
Wait, I was
real
gonna
life?
ask, do you guys think actors, like Korean drama actors, like learn from their characters?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
My question is though, like, how do they actually not fall in love with each other? Like, when they're doing those, I mean, sure, it's their job and it's all acting, but still, I don't know. I feel like.
Maybe if you do it enough.
That's true.
But also, isn't the point of their job to be really engrossed into the character too?
Like method acting.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't think I can marry an actor.
Yeah.
I'd like to, theoretically,
Yeah.
in theory, but no.
Reality. Yeah. I think it would be tough.
Guys, the silence is deafening. I'm trying to think. It's like a...
Okay, I don't think this is the latest incident, but a couple of years back,
Going back into our archives.
this is how I know the bar is so low.
Uh-oh.
You already know this, but someone, you probably, I don't know if you would remember, but someone poured water. So basically,
That is
I remember that day so vividly.
but the way it happened,
Wait, what?
okay, so I was pouring myself water, or attempting to,
Okay.
but it was a huge jug. So it's
Okay.
heavy.
Okay.
And so I was like struggling. And without a word, this is the point. Without a word. This, if someone like comes
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and like, oh, let me help you.
Or
I
like,
would
oh,
not.
do you need help?
I would not have gotten 심쿵d, but
Yeah.
without a word, he just like grabs it from me and like pours the water for me. And just walks away.
Oh, Chindere.
Yeah.
Champagne, where you at?
Yeah, but that got me.
Oh, what?
Me witnessing, I was like, oh.
Yeah, she was right there.
what?
And we both like,
What
we're
was this?
senior year.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
senior year.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that was the last time.
Mm.
Or no, maybe not. It wasn't the last time, but
The most like vivid as of now.
I don't know if I really get like 심쿵 by things. Because I think honestly, the bar is very low. But I think it's like 그만큼 I don't 심쿵. I don't know. Yeah.
you don't fall for the low bar.
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah. I hope not.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But I mean, like, there's like small things that like my boyfriend will do. Like, so we go to church in downtown LA, and you know, sometimes it's a little bit dangerous there. So if there's like a person walking on the sidewalk, or we see them like approaching us or anything, he'll always like move me to the side, furthest away from them, which that's something I really appreciate. Because there was one time where I don't. We have this like huge thing about him always like moving me to the inside of the sidewalk, and so there was one time where I was on the inside, and then he moved me to the outside, and then I was like, "What the heck was that?" Right? Like I was like, "That's weird." And then he was like, "No, like there was somebody walking by, and I thought it'd be better if you know you stayed further away from them." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's sweet. I didn't think about it that way." So I feel like small things like that, holding my shopping bags for me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Or like when you're like trying something on, and he like takes my stuff for me. Or I feel like even when friends do that, I'm like, like a lucky. No, like
I get that. Yeah. I'm really at a loss, guys. I've got nothing for you.
When you guys get 심쿵, what do you feel? Like, describe it for me. No, I'm just curious if it's the same for everyone.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think when I was younger, I would actually like physically feel something in my stomach. You know the
in your
saying,
stomach.
like butterflies in my stomach. I think I actually did feel that, but I haven't felt that in ages. I feel like I just don't know what that feels like anymore. But I think I just get a little like, ooh, you know? Yeah.
Like your heartbeat.
Yeah. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. And my brain gets a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I think my heart just beats really fast. Yeah.
Okay, I can't even call this a crush, but it's just almost like admiration in a way. But when I'm taking my ballet classes on Mondays, when our class ends, there's a class after. I think it's more of the beginner class. So, usually there are no guys in my class that I take, but the class after, there are like a good handful of guys.
Ooh.
They're all like freaking like, I kid you not, I think they're like 6'3", 6'4",
Whoa.
just like built, but not in a bulky way.
Yeah.
More like a lean, like ballet dancer body type.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So I'm just like, whoa.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Very bold to like take ballet classes when it's mostly women.
Yeah.
Love that.
Good for them.
Yeah. I guess, what are there patterns in your crushes? Like, you said the TikTok guy is like musically
Inclined.
talented. Yeah, things like that. Like, do you find yourself being more attracted to certain characteristics?
If they're good looking.
Okay. Honestly, yeah. I think that is your pattern.
Yes. But you know what another thing is?
What?
Red flags.
You saw that fade and you're like, yes.
Stop!
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I honestly have nothing to say to that, honestly.
Yeah, it's just very much true. Yeah, maybe red is your favorite color. I don't know.
Maybe it is. JK. Blue is my favorite color.
Not even green.
Oh, I like green.
Smurfs.
Wait, what?
It's getting late. Crackhead hours.
Oh my gosh,
It's like 8 p.m. 6.
No, it's not. It's 9, 10. I get in bed by 9.
That's still not. But okay.
Good one, guys. Good one.
Wow, that's so fun. I really liked that.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I feel like we always find out something about the guys that she's like, oh, he's cute. And then we'll do a little bit of research and we're like,
oh, never mind.
yeah, no. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, why is that?
Because you just like good looking guys.
Yeah, you need to think about what's
I
within.
know. But you know, that's the first thing I see. Or it's like the
Yeah.
only thing I know at first.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to look at them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously, once I get to know them or like know some details, I go the other way.
You know what I think it is?
What is it?
It's not just good looking. It's guys who kind of what's the word?
The vibe?
Like groom themselves
Clean
well.
up well.
Like clean up well. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm.
A man who tries a little bit,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
like takes care of himself well.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what was the original
Wait,
question?
yeah, what was the question?
Wait, was this even prompted by a question?
Mhm.
What was it?
Pattern in your crushes.
Oh. Yeah, I think musically inclined can be one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's really a pattern.
Well, your pattern is smart.
Yeah.
But it's only 2 people.
That's true.
And one person, the only reason they looked smart was because they wore glasses.
Oh yeah, wait, I didn't even know.
I don't know who this guy is.
And I retract my statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, like, what's your type? I don't think I really
No, I don't think I
have
really
one.
do.
Yeah, like for me, if you look at my exes, there is like genuinely no similarity across. So I don't really have a specific.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I think it's hard to conclude on one.
But yeah, there are definitely people who have
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah,
very,
for sure.
Yes.
just a type.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, does anyone else have anything else to add
No.
for the various topics? Yeah, I don't.
Well, how do we land here, guys?
I don't know.
We covered a lot,
We did.
but it was also a little chaotic.
Yes, it
was.
was very chaotic.
Yeah.
Good luck editing.
I think we kept enough silences throughout to make it easier, hopefully. But yeah, well, let us know if any of you guys have any reflections based on anything we've discussed. I feel like it was a very informative time for us. All right. Well, hope everyone has a fantastic week, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.